We're basically not blank slates, but self-assembling computers. And what you put into a developing mind.
One of the things I want my daughters, I'm trying to deprogram them from that belief that there's a certain way to be a woman.
Let me speak abstractly so we don't get distracted with stupid stuff. Gender is about reproduction. And it's paired, and there's nothing you're going to do that's as good as the male-female pairing that produces families.
They can have the eggs thawed, fertilized, implanted. Let's say you're 28 years old. That egg is 28 years old. That egg doesn't get older as you get older. This is the wonderful thing about this science.
I don't know what their future is going to hold. So I don't talk about when you become a mother or when you get married.
You have a 28-year-old egg that you can thaw when you're 38 or even 42.
Right now, we are allowing our children to be parented by people who should be nowhere close to a child, because development for humans is different. We're not like wildebeests where you come out with programming where you can walk on day one.
I say, well, if you find somebody, if you choose that, if that's something you want for yourself, but understand that you can have a beautiful life without all that.
Absolutely.
You know, you are not less of a person because somebody didn't choose you.
We're basically not blank slates, but self-assembling computers. And what you put into a developing mind.
I'm 32 years young and childless, and I'm happy, and I'm jumping around and frolicking, in a garden, and men are like, "You're gonna die old, your eggs are turning into dust," and da 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 da.
Yes, there's a ton of problems with it. There's a ton of problems with traditional femininity, with traditional masculinity.
And then the women are like, good for you. Even if they have children, they're like, great, good for you. What is that like? I find it to be hilarious because these men will never understand the gravity of what it is to have a child.
And if it works, and I want to stress that, if it works, then they get a baby if it works.
Have you seen the data showing the movement of teenage boys politically to the right? Have you been looking at this?
Well, where else are they going to go?
It's a good question.
I mean, I had a teenage boy. I still have one, but he's 18 now. And I watched them be pushed farther and farther right by their schools.
What do you do for a living?
I got my CDO license. I just finished that up.
How old are you?
21.
What the f is a CDO?
You suck. All of your instincts are bad. These girls are amazing. Look at you. You're pathetic.
In shorter terms, I'm a truck driver.
I look like with a truck driver.
Be less masculine and more attractive. You're just barking at them constantly.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a risk taker.
What's your type?
Millionaires.
They're not moving right. They're moving out of your stupid way. You've given them what? Nothing. Nothing.
Have you ever been with a millionaire?
No, but I'm gonna be.
So you mean to tell me you would rather spend all of your good years chasing a millionaire other than taking a chance with a 21-year-old that has his CDL license, probably got his own crib, own car?
I watched those kids go through this pressure cooker created by this crazy, parasitized left-wing educational movement. Get away from our sons. Get away from our daughters. Get away from our sons and away from our daughters. It's not left or right. I don't have a Republican bone in my body. Get the crazy people who do not understand human development away from our children.
Yeah, I'm chasing a bag. If you're not a millionaire, then you're not for me. I know what I bring to the table.
What are you at?
Not a Target bag.
Stop giving our daughters terrible life advice.
I'm trying to deprogram them from that belief that there's a certain way to be a woman in this world.
Do any of you want children now?
We did a story 23 years ago about women waiting to establish their careers to have children.
Lisa, Ani, and Leslie, in their mid to late 20s, are at the perfect age to have children. But like most men their age, they want to have it all. Big careers in top management and children.
When you look into the future, what are you going to have in your life to make you a happy person?
Close-knit family, children, and also either lead a company or have my own company.
So you want both?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
But understand that you can have a beautiful life without all that.
And the sad thing was, you got into your late 30s, ready to have that child, and then you couldn't get pregnant.
I just assumed that science would keep up that pace and that it wouldn't be a problem at 40. It never occurred to me that I wouldn't be able to have a child.
Stop giving our daughters terrible life advice.
It's a long process, and each step costs a lot of money.
I have 29 eggs that I'm paying rent for in a Manhattan freezer on the Upper East Side.
How expensive is that?
It's about $1,200 a year.
That's steep.
Yeah.
That's a New York price.
Yeah, of course, the best for the eggs, right?
But understand that you can have a beautiful life without all that.
And I'm ready to become a mother. It's not that. That's the problem.
She points to stories like Evelyn Gosnell's. Evelyn froze her eggs 3 times at ages 32, 36, and 38 for a total of 30 eggs, considered a very safe number. But when Evelyn and her now fiancé Edward went to use her 30 frozen eggs, only 19 survived the thaw, an unusually poor result. Even worse, once those 19 eggs were fertilized, only 1 grew to be an embryo.
Oh, wow, they've asked me this, if I want to know the sex. It means that there's a real embryo there. It means that this is real, it's normal, it's going to be fine, it's all going to be good. And then, boom, I get the report, and I open it, and it's abnormal, and it was a girl.
There was no chance the embryo could become a baby.
Stop giving our daughters terrible life advice.
The Met Gala is a representation of Western opulence, one that captures the imagination of fashionistas the world over. When starlets tell young women they can have it all, some imagine themselves here, PhD in hand, perfect partner on arm, an imaginary world men cannot share.
Rihanna was at the Met Gala.
Sydney Sweeney was at the Met Gala. Studio apartments cost $1,200.
Why am I supposed to care about the Met Gala?
Future shows up to Met Gala. Dude, I don't...
Oh my God. I can't. We'll probably never be able to afford a house.
And I'm supposed to care about some dude wearing some $30,000 outfit
that I don't even know this guy.
Oh my God. How is this happening? Is this... Oh my God. What's happening right now? Oh my God. We're just at the Met Gala. Holy look at all. Oh my God, all these people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who is it? Oh my God, it's Kim. Is it Zendaya? That's
my God. Yeah, I'm chasing a bag. If you're not a millionaire, then you're not for me. I know what I bring to the table.
What are you at?
Not a Target bag.
After the pandemic, still single, she decided to become a single mother by choice and selected a sperm donor.
I had just turned 40, and I knew that motherhood was something that I always wanted.
One of the things I want my daughters, I'm trying to deprogram them from that belief that there's a certain way to be a woman.
To my ladies in your 20s and 30s, listen to me, I'm almost 50, and I don't want you to learn this the hard way. Don't have that man's baby. Do not, under any circumstances, have that man's baby.
But the first embryo created from her frozen eggs failed to implant. But then...
Where's Christopher? There's Christopher.
A second embryo from her frozen eggs did.
On the day that I started my egg freezing cycle, I screenshotted a quote that said, "Do something today that your future self will thank you for."
Have you seen the data showing the movement of teenage boys politically to the right? Have you been looking at this?
Well, where else are they going to go?
If you're a millennial or Gen Z young man, you've seen many of your elder idols canceled or Me Too'd.
It don't matter. Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Bigger than 5. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. You could say SGA, PGA, USA, Lakers in 5.
You've seen many of your favorite brands like Star Wars and Marvel be rewritten in a way that is not quote-unquote toxic. As a matter of fact, everything about your existence has been deemed toxic to the point where you've had to question what being a proper man is. And then when you've looked at your peers, they have been championed for sleeping with anyone they want to in their 20s and 30s, and then waiting until their 40s to decide to try and find a perfect mate that will wait until they're in their 40s to go through fertilization treatments and pay the high cost that is necessary to have a single child, if that, with a partner that's going to, at some times, pay all the bills and at some times clean the house. A moving target that many young men have found untenable. And the biggest victim in all of this? Young women. Women that are being told by the former First Lady of the United States that having a family or having children is not that important. What's more important is finding what you want to do in your 30s, knowing that you will have 40 or 50 years after your 30s to live the rest of your life. And what most women might want is what they see on television. A partner that loves them, a family that cares about them and they can spend the holidays with, and a reason for waking up and going to work in the morning. Waiting too long jeopardizes the first two. But there seem to be very few people that are willing to tell young ladies that even though some young ladies are able to pay the price of waiting until their 40s to start a family, the women that don't are seldom heard and often forgotten. And they still have 40 years of life left in front of them. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, catch the next video. Take care, guys.